Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. This is a welcome to Nigerians, and I say Nigerians because this video is meant to address Nigerians. So the purpose of this video is to make Nigerians conscious of the way the story and the messages they send out of their mouth affects fellow Nigerians and including themselves and everything to do with the country. So from the story we tell, the spoken thoughts, media, and even the conversations we have with each other, this all affects our view of the country. It affects how we choose to serve the country, and most of all, it affects how other people treat and view us as Nigerians. I make this video because for such a long time it has been in my thoughts, and I strongly felt it in my mind and my heart to do a video that inspires, motivates, and bring positive light to Nigeria and its people. The desire grew strongly after watching so many Nigerian YouTubers, media outlets, and then listening to President Buhari's interview or conversation about Nigeria and the young population. Now, I was more motivated to do this video after Falz released his cover of the This is American video for This is Nigeria video. So, before I continue, I will describe myself as a critical thinker. I studied sociology, guys, and psychology. And in these subjects, you are encouraged to think critically, to look beyond what is face value, and to evaluate a lot of things. It really I've always had that sort of mindset anyways, but after studying the subject, it only makes me question every single thing, to critically evaluate things that people say, things that I see around me. And then I'm also a Christian, and I mention Christian because some of the references I'll make in this video comes from the Bible, and also my religion as a Christian has allowed me to see beyond the sort of things that people want you to hear, to discern arguments and meaning behind people's thoughts. And also, it has helped me to think positively about our country as Nigerians. So, who are Nigerians, or what is Nigeria? Nigeria is a country, if you do not know. Well, you should know if you're a Nigerian. It's a country in West Africa, and I would say Nigeria as a country is full of people who are hardworking and often try to succeed, even with the limited economic opportunities that are there. But they never back down due to these limitations. It is a country full of helpful, caring, thoughtful, and bright personalities, which, I'm not joking, you'll never get bored being around a Nigerian, unless a person that has a different type of personality. But I see a lot of bright personalities and just joyful personalities. Those who still, and well, they call it suffering and smiling, but I actually see it for the positive side, that you endure and you overcome. Now, the only problem is that we enjoy the wrong things for too long, and we don't do our best to tackle it to our best abilities sometimes. Nigeria is also a country that was colonized by Britain before the 1960s, and in 1960 we had our independence. So, what am I defending Nigeria from? I am defending Nigeria from bad or negative publicity and storytelling, self-condemnation, and lack of confidence in the people and the country as well. the identity, which includes the cultural and language issues which we have in Nigeria. Um, I may I'm not covering every topic that is in my head. I'm just covering these three key ones, as they are kind of the main things that I observed that really does damage or tarnish the people and the country at large. Most of these topics will interlink with each other, so bear with me. I'll start with bad publicity. And from my Google search, bad publicity or public, just let's stick with publicity in general, is some certain type of activity or something like a saying or a word that attracts a lot of people or a lot of interest to a person, to people or to a company or just to anyone and anything. Um, and the type of attention that it receives then can be positive or negative. Now, the negative part of publicity is when you speak badly about someone or criticize negatively of something or someone. The result often is people have a bad connotation or mindset towards that particular thing or person or people. So, negative publicity does have adverse effect on the person being spoken about, the country, or the particular thing that is being spoken about. So it may be true. Some of the things that people say may be true, or it may be not true. Because remember, people do make up stories or even imagine their own stories to sell either their magazines or elaborate or exaggerate on things that happen. So it can lead to a lot of disastrous consequences, which include destruction, or it destroys the reputation of the country or the person being spoken about. It destroys the employment and business relations of the country with other countries or other people. It makes people distrust the company, the country. I'm just talking about in general, the country and its people. The value, it also diminish or reduces the value of the people and the way the people are viewed outside of the world, and the products that the country produces. Most of all, it affects as I mentioned, the value of the people of the country, as according to how people view them, how they view themselves as well in their own environment. So, what is storytelling? Storytelling is simply the things that we say about ourselves or about something that happened in the past or in the about to happen in the future, which can have either positive or negative effect considering what type of storytelling you are telling. Okay, let's go into bad publicity in Nigeria. So, my sort of take on this is based on lots of stories, and I would like for you to consciously think, if you are told these stories or if you were present in these situations, how would you view the country or the person that is being spoken about, and what will come into your mind of how other people will view you. You can put yourself in the mindset of as a Nigerian, or you can put yourself in the mindset of as a stranger listening into these stories. So this is on YouTube. I was watching a prank video of a YouTube boy, he's Nigerian, in the UK, who pranked his mother about being in money scamming or money laundering. And he was asking his mother to give him his card so that he can use her card. Sorry, he was asking his mother to give him her card so that he can use her bank card to withdraw and complete the process. The mother was scolding him about it, and just it's simple, like the way Nigerian mothers scold. He was scolding him about it, and I remember in that video, towards the end of this whole process of scolding, the boy said that 419 is in his blood because he is Nigerian or he has a Nigerian root. Like literally is in his blood. Though this was meant to be a funny scam, there was a clear negative message that was sent to his viewers and to the world at large of Nigerian people and what they are, or something, or what they are, according to him at least, what they are. Now, I love the response that the mother gave to the boy, which was, well, if scamming or money laundering is in your blood, it is not in my blood. And I believe this is the message that we should be sending out to people who accuse Nigerians of money laundering in cases where they make it as if it's something that you cannot help but do, like it's in your bloodline, like the way this boy described it. This should be our response to people. If it's in your blood, because for you to know what money laundering is, that means you know you have some sort of knowledge or know about it, or probably you've done it before. So if it's in their blood, then it's not in our blood. If you're an innocent Nigerian going about your business and people bring about these certain issues to you, which maybe in your entire life you have never stolen from anyone, you have never committed any sort of money fraud or fraudulent behavior, and people try to put it on you that because of someone else's individual actions, then it makes the whole country, it makes the whole country problem, or it makes the country people the same. So my thing is, we as Nigerians must respond to everyone who is trying to criticize Nigeria on this particular part with that statement. If it's in your blood, then it is not in my blood, as it gives a negative representation of the country. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying that if individuals commit crime, we must not then generalize it to everyone. Now, I have another story which I had overheard in my university library. So I was doing my work in my university library, and these two female students came in. One was a Nigerian and another was an Asian from the let me know. Okay, I'm just trying to take a little breath. So they were talking about something very random. I believe that person was Nigerian because she was talking about Nigerian things, anyways. But when they first came to sit down with me, they were just speaking about something random that really doesn't concern the country or stuff like that. And then the conversation kind of changed face. And then I would call her, well, she's a Nigerian person, was telling the Asian girl that one tribe in Nigeria practices all this evil stuff. I mean, she was downloading the girl on so many things in Nigeria. I'm thinking, first thing that came to my mind was, how did this come into their conversation? Because they were sitting next to me, so I heard the conversation they were having previously before this girl started offloading whatever disease that she can spew out of her mouth. And she was just telling all this bad, negative stuff about this particular tribe in Nigeria. I was fuming inside. I'm like, what? Like, who does this? That was how I was thinking in my mind. And I looked at the face of this Asian girl, and you can see she became so uncomfortable, and she was thinking, oh, why are you telling me this? Or she was responding like, really? Are you sure? Really? Kind of sort of response. And I was so enraged that I felt like saying something to that particular girl, telling her own rubbishness really about some particular tribe. And you can see from the way she told it wasn't necessary, it was just to demean and diminish particular tribe that is not hers. So I wanted to say something, but because I knew in my feelings at that time, if I said something, I would have been so enraged that it would have just caused chaos and my message would not have gotten across rightly. I left them. But if you are then in my position as someone listening to this stuff, how would you view that particular tribe that the person is describing in Nigeria. If someone of that tribe then meets this particular Asian girl, that she female student, that the other Nigerian student was speaking about, how do you think that person will view the person? So remember, the stories we tell make impact every single time. And with this, I mean, as I mentioned, I left the room just not wanting to listen to that conversation again. But I wish if I could go back, I would definitely have said something to the girl and shut her up. But at that moment, I knew my emotions better. I just left. So, in other news, I see in news in Nigeria, talk shows and other sort of media stuff that they do, whenever they want to portray Nigerians, I'm talking about Nigerian news. I'm not talking about the Western world at the moment. Talking about Nigerian news and media. When they want to portray their own country, the positive light that they give the country is very short fused. Or if it's positive to say, there must be something that dims that positivity. So let's say, for example, they are saying, oh, Nigeria, these Nigerians did this, they did that, they achieved this, they achieved that. Now, at the end of the conversation, you always hear this, but maybe the person did so and so thing to gain his money. Maybe he did something wrong or something. Just always that but instead. I'm like, if you want to talk about positivity, why not stick with positivity? There should be no buts, ifs, or anything like that. Now, in the Nigerian media as well, they often have like images from the Western world when they are trying to show positivity. So when they want to show example of something that is great that someone is doing, they always use either children from the Western world, and they are not blacks. So let's be honest, most of them are not blacks or Nigerians. They often use images and people of that to show good examples of things. Then when they want to show bad examples, they often use their own people. When this is one of the reasons why I stopped watching so many talk shows, because that really annoyed me. As if my friends, like the ones that are Nigerians, it was like to them it's like, what in the world? I'm trying to find something to hang on to about being Nigerian, but you're still trying to go back on certain things that are negative. So when people think of these things, what do you think Nigerians themselves view themselves as? Is it that they are negative and everything else positive comes from abroad or comes from other countries other than theirs? So I think the media really needs to think very critically on how they portray Nigerians. Now, the only part of Nigeria that is actually doing very well, and I really thank the music area of Nigeria, because when music in Nigeria became very popular here, it has made a lot of young Nigerians or abroad born Nigerians confident in themselves, that some of them are able to speak about their country and say that I am Nigerian. That means identifying themselves as Nigerian. The reason why I say this is because I've been in this country for a long time, and I remember when I was in school, many Nigerians would do anything to deny themselves. These people will be claiming Jamaican for no reason. They will be claiming Caribbean and any other country, but not theirs. And it always confused me, because when I came, I was always telling people I was Nigerians, and it makes me sad that many of them did not claim themselves as one. And the one that did claim herself, at least in my school, she didn't really want to associate anything to about Nigerians. She knew she was Nigerian, but she doesn't like saying it out loud, which was quite sad. But I really thank God for Two-Face, because when African Queen came out and Nigerian Afropop went into the industry and start making music that is accepted worldwide, it really has given a lot of people confidence to say they are Africans, talk less to say they are Nigerians. So the reason why I'm saying this is that whatever message that we put out there affects us and affects our children if you do not know it. I also see Nigerians sit back when other countries demoralize, criticize, or make fun of them and of his people. For example, they may say there was a Nigerian in what is it called, in the prison, or just something bad happened, and for some reason there was a Nigerian amongst the group. Now, rather than trying to find out if that Nigerian actually committed the thing that they're being accused of, we kind of blatantly believe it and just say, yeah, they must have done it, and we only do not help ourselves. I live in Britain, and I love British people, because for you to ever accuse them of anything, you must have a substantial ground and evidence to show so. And they'll go to any length to prove themselves either innocent, or to prove that the person actually is the guilty one, is actually one of them. I've seen many Black Africans, especially the West Africans, some of them will claim Nigerians, and they're not Nigerians. And I'm like, you can't just claim a country you don't know when you're in trouble. And then when you are good, you start going to your own country. Sometimes we need to question the integrity of those people. We need to question their identity. And we need to also look in evidence to see not just the ones that the Western world or whoever that is accusing the Nigerian shows. We need to go in and do our own evidence. If you look, that's how it is done when international issues like that occur. So there's so many things I would like to talk about. I'll continue talking about it later on, as I do not want this video to be way too long, but I'll just quickly finish on what I'm trying to say. So when people do tell us and accuse us of all sorts of stories, as I mentioned, we need to do our best to ask questions. By asking questions, we can get clarity to know if these people are of us or of not of us. What led the person to do this? Because sometimes individual problems doesn't make it a country's problem. Okay, so when making documentaries also, we must be careful of ways that we portray Nigerians, because most documentaries people do, both in the Western world or even other countries, and in Nigerians, is often the negative and poor and bad part of Nigeria, as that's what they reflect. 90% of them are. And sometimes they make mockery of these people, which some of you will not understand. And that it always left me wondering, was like, why is there no good thing in Nigeria? Why is there no good role model in Nigeria? Why are these people not being shown? Now, I was even saddened more when I listened to the interview or conference of the president of Nigeria, President Buhari, and he was talking about how Nigerian, due to its young populations, are not fulfilling their capabilities, because they feel like since we are oil producing country, we should sit back, relax, and gain all the benefits of being an oil producing country. In all honesty, it just says that Nigerian youths are being lazy and expect things for free. Like most people listening to it, I was flabbergasted, and I was kind of confused on why a president of a country would go into a conference of different delegates from different countries and embarrass his people in such manner. It's very disheartening. I know we all make fun of it and laugh it off. And this is another problem with Nigerians, is that when these sort of things happen, rather than we trying to tackle in the way that could get the president or whoever it is to apologize for their actions, we laugh it off or make jokes of it. Maybe it's the way of coping mechanism, but it's not working, because I felt like the president did not obviously allow his children to suffer in the same way many Nigerians are suffering. Many young Nigerians who are trying to hold down 3 jobs to feed their families, some who have dropped out of school to take care of their family, Some who, even though given the opportunity to study, are not able to do so because of transport, economic issues that is beyond them. Many who have graduated but yet do not find employment. These are the things that the president will not see because guess what? Probably he had children or went to school outside of the country, and that country did not become good out of the blue. They organized their country. It's the president that organized their country. That country that your children studied, daughter, son, whoever it could be, do things properly. They do not cheat their people. Neither do the presidents go on sick leave for almost a year, if not 6 months, and leave the country in array. No, they are present, making sure and advocating for their people. This is why sometimes some of these politicians' daughters and children, I think they don't actually should not even have mouth to speak about anything negative about Nigeria. Rather, their role should be to promote Nigeria because at the end of the day, let's believe it or not, it's the country's money that is used to feed and clothe you. It's the country's money that sent you abroad to study. And if you study in abroad, use the sense and the things that they taught you in abroad, the things that you saw, all the positive things, and bring it back to your country. I'm not talking about fashioning, I'm not talking about hosting events and all those glamorous sort of stuff. I'm talking about getting down to the real issues, tackling issues, if not like the way the prince and princesses of British Empire have done, is go to the army and train to be an what's it called, either a soldier to defend the country, be the ambassador of the country, bring businesses to the country. Anyways, I just wanted to highlight these few, and also wanted to bring the consciousness of Falz music to play. Now, when the music came out, I wasn't really hyped about it because all he has said has been said before by African China, Sir Warrior, what is his name again? This one that sang Yellow Sissy. Yellow Sissy, they forgot now. No, this legend, what is his name again? Just so many. I mean, even both current and past musicians, all of them have sang it. Now, what made this different? It was Falz was very intelligent in bringing vision, a current modern vision that is happening to his video, which then created a stimuli that prompted people to either hate or like the video. Now, the main problem with Nigerians is like we like talking a lot and complaining about the issues that affect us. But it's very rare. I'm not joking. It's hardly that we bring out issue and actions that supports or addresses our concern. It's well and good bringing out these topics to play, but we must also start finding solutions and working on the solutions rather than talking and talking and talking. And the way to affect the country positively is one, by reducing the amount of negativity that we speak about our country. I'm not talking about whether you're speaking the truth or not, because truth is relative, it's subjective to whoever that is speaking about it. Truth, according to you, is not factual, because according to science, if all swans are black, if you see one that is white, it disproves your theory, it falsifies it. So, what I'm trying to say is that we must start helping ourselves by, first of all, positively speaking about our country and its people. We must stop trying to do this whole tribalism sort of thing. Even if you don't like a tribe, I see no reason why, if someone from the outside is speaking to you about your country, you will be the one to shut down the tribe. It is none of their business what is going on in your own country. Domestic issues is none of their business. Two, we must promote Nigerian products. I live in the diaspora, and one of the ways I do that is by shopping in African shops. Find a good African shop. I wouldn't lie to you. Some African shops can have really bad customer service, but I didn't give up. I just found a good one that I go to, and I shop their products. I shop the ethnic things that we buy. Second of all, when in the midst of strangers, watch the way you speak about yourself, as the way you speak about yourself only will help connect to how people view you and people who are of like you, especially if you're promoting yourself as a Nigerian. Third of all, if you're doing business, just give a good business customer service. Do not cheat, neither should you lie. Do your business. If you make mistake, apologize for it. There is nothing better than sit down and apologize for things done wrong. It only rebuilds your integrity as a person. Third of all, the stories that you tell of your country and of yourself and of your experience affects how people view you and of your country. So we must be very careful of the type of story we tell, not to others only, but the type of story we tell to our children, among ourselves, because in addition, the stories we tell ourselves is actually more damning than the ones we tell of a stranger. Well, we tell to a stranger. So what I'm trying to say is that if we start on our own personal environments by speaking positively about our country, not condemning it in the slightest opportunity that we have. I'm not talking about you being over defensive either. I'm just saying if you do good as a Nigerian, other people will see it in you. I'll give you an example. I've been in so many situations where people say to me, okay, I don't think you're like, I didn't even think you were Nigerian. This is often when they see me and know of me, but without really knowing my name. Most of them associate me to a different country altogether. And some of them do say, you don't even behave like Nigerians. And I wonder, what do Nigerians behave like? And all the things that they mentioned that Nigerians have seen behave like were all negative. And I said to myself, if I start talking about all the negative things I experience of people of your country, how do you think that would be viewed? How would you feel? Because what you're doing is making generalization to a country that is full of millions of people, that people you haven't met, and most of these people, believe it or not, have not even stepped their feet in Nigerians. Some have not even had one-on-one contact with Nigerians. Some of the things that they say is out of movies. Again, that's another thing we need to be careful from the media outlets. Some of them is from movies and stories that they hear of people that enjoy bringing all the negatives about Nigeria. And we need to stop focusing on the gossip areas of the media in terms of media personalities or celebrities, and focus on the positive things that they are doing, like their charity work. Not when they got divorced that we start clapping and just talking about the negative. When they are surprised with birthdays, these are all nice gestures, but when you focus on all the gossip, it doesn't really promote the country, only promotes the person. Okay. We also need to start doing funding for individual projects that we do. What do I mean by this? We Nigerians often like copying the Western world, and we often copy on things that to me doesn't make sense. Clothing style, the English that they speak, the way that they act, like some things that is just very stupid. And believe it or not, these people don't even care about you that much. They don't copy you either. They will like for you to show yourself, but they will ask you to showcase yourself rather than copy you. And I actually think that is even better because they're allowing you to be who you want to be, but they will not be you. So why in the world then do we forsake everything about our culture and our own people just to follow other people of other countries that really could care less about you? And even if they care more about you, is more of what can they get from you. We need to be able to promote our food cultures and everything else that is good about Nigeria. I'm not talking about just houses, but I think we need to promote the people themselves, the hardworking Nigerians, the ones that give you good hospitality, that you come, someone feeds you. So these sort of things that we need to help like promote. Now, for those that do negative media and negative talks, sometimes I wonder if they do have experiences of this positivity in Nigeria, because I remember growing up where if I was hungry, I was not going to wait for my mom to come back to feed me. I could go to anyone's house to eat. I could go to my neighbor's house to eat. I'll be walking down on the road, let's say someone that a neighbor or someone, even a stranger sometimes that doesn't know you, to ask you, like, especially as a secondary school student at the time, they will see that you're so hungry. Because I was in boarding house for some time, and boarding school, that one just make you slim. And they'll ask, "Oh, are you hungry?" And they'll buy some like food or certain stuff for you. This kind of generous and kind gestures and behaviors of Nigerian people needs to be promoted. It needs to be showcased, because I've never seen a country that is so hospitable and helps its people. We need to promote the community of Nigeria. We need to promote the people, the hardworking people, the everyday people, not the celebrities, the everyday people. Because I love in UK where I live, they have this award for unsung heroes. These are people who do things in their individual homes, some who sacrifice their life, like the people I mentioned that drop out of school to help their parents, some people who are young carers. They support all these young people and give them award and recognize their efforts and tell them your effort is not in vain. We are watching. It's a good thing that you are supporting your country. Some of these young people in the diaspora, when problems happen, they will raise money and funds to support their friends. Like the Manchester Arena bomb that happened. I was watching this particular girl, because of what happened to her, and I think she lost her friend in the process. She made a charity out of it. These are some of the behaviors that we should copy, the behaviors that promotes and supports the country at large. I also heard of this woman on the news who retired at the age of 86 after spending half of her life supporting and generating funds for the NHS. This is a government body. This is not about private. We need to help ourselves by promoting the country, funding the country in activities that other people are doing. It may not be what you're doing. It must not be all you. It must not benefit just you, because that NHS one didn't benefit the woman only. It benefited the entire community. It benefited the entire country. So these are some of the behaviors that we must copy, rather than trying to copy the flashy things and stupid things that just come and go. We must copy these like beautiful behaviors by promoting our unsung heroes, by promoting the services. Even if it's that doctor that helped save your mother's life, you must promote them. They do these things, awards and everything in other countries. If we want to copy anything, we need to copy all these things. So, my fellow Nigerians, there is this saying that someone says that the world knows you by the story that you tell. And I believe it more than anything, because in a story of I think it was in the church or was in the Bible, I can't remember where I heard it. A stranger came to a city and asked this city gatekeeper, "How is your city? Tell me how it is, as I want to lodge on your city, in your city." And the man asked him, "Where you are coming from, how is your own city?" And the man told him every good thing about his city. And the gatekeeper of the other city said, "If your city is good, sort of thing, then so is my city." And the stranger went in and stayed in the city. Now imagine if the stranger decided to tell every negative thing about the country or the city. How do you think that stranger will feel? Probably will leave. So we must be careful of the things that we say, so that we can promote trust in our own people. We can make our people feel confident and feel valued. We can promote the values of our products so that it can sell in the market and compete amongst the others. We must buy from our own people and support the businesses of the people. and we in our own lives must do good so that other people will count us as worthy. Now, I'll talk about the other topics on self-condemnation and self-confidence and cultural issues later on. Thank you for watching. Take care.